Hello folks, this is Steve AB4. Nothing in this episode is a promotion, nor is it a recommendation. It's a little bit of reminiscing, because I've seen something here in the news items on slashdot.org, News for Nerds. Here it is. Japan's Honda and Nissan to reportedly begin merger talks. Now, I'm just a dummy on this, but I think I was reading this past week that Nissan's in some kind of trouble. Japanese automakers Honda and Nissan are reportedly in merger talks to form a holding company. You know, like Alphabet is Google, YouTube, and the combined Nissan, Honda, Mitsubishi, enterprise would equal more than 8 million vehicle sales annually. That would place the company among the world's largest automobile makers, trying to catch up with Toyota and Volkswagen. Isn't Volkswagen closing factories? Now I'm going to reminisce a little bit. I'm going to see if I'm going to point out something that you did or didn't know. When the first Nissan cars came to the States, were they called Nissan? Of course not. They were called Datsuns. Datsun. The 1970 to 73 Datsun 240Z. In the second half of the 1970s, when I went back to college to try again, I worked part-time in my brother's foreign car repair shop. Have I actually, see, the Nissan S30 sold in Japan as the Nissan Fairlady Z, but for export, badged, so it didn't say Nissan, it said badged as Datsun 240Z. Right there. And later as Datsun 260Z and 280Z are two-seat sports cars produced by Nissan from 1969 until 1978. And I can remember working on and helping to repair a really beat up original, among the first 240Zs sold in the United States. The guy had hit something, we had to rework. It had a special body suspension. It didn't have a frame. The car doesn't have a frame. The suspension is welded to the underside of the body cavity. Would you know that? You would if you worked on one. They're still beautiful. My understanding is correct me, many years later, and I mean in this century, they reintroduced that model series, but as Nissan 240Z. I'm talking about Datsun 240Z. I worked on one. My brother was into autocrossing, parking lot racing. And the person that brought it in was using that as part of the autocross, competing against my brother's Sprigget. What's a Sprigget? Go look it up. I'll give you a hint. It's an English car. It's a hybrid. So that had a real engine in it. Notice what I just said. That one had a real engine in it. You could race with it. You could drag race from the stoplight with it. It was very difficult to even get one. They were sold out so far ahead, despite their high price. Oh, wait a minute. It's a merger with Honda. Oh, let me think. Honda was here even earlier. Yeah, I can remember when I was living in the Philadelphia area. See, this is nostalgia. And I can remember driving from where I lived in the Germantown area over to Upper Darby by way of the main line, crossing over the Schuylkill River and getting on the... And I can remember going by the first Honda dealer in Philadelphia. Well, I wonder if I should try to search on that. And their showroom. Now, did we ever work on one of those early Hondas in the shop with my brother? No. But do you know what kind of engine they had in them? Can you guess? Can you guess? Now, this title in Wikipedia is called Honda 360, but the first Hondas imported to the United States, and I remember them. I can still visualize a particular one just in front of me. I was in Philadelphia until the beginning part of the 1970s. So here is a Honda N600, 1969. See how it goes here? 1969 Honda N360 sedan. See it right there? Also called, among other things, Honda N400. Production was from 1967 to 1972. It's called a city car, a key car. "402 cubic inches. How big is that? This is what I'm smiling about. The N360 featured front-wheel drive. Some Volkswagens were like that too. I own one. An air-cooled 4-stroke 354 cubic cc, 31 horsepower. Did you get that? 31 horsepower, 2-cylinder engine. Now, I'm doing this intentionally. What kind of engine was it? Back then, before this car was introduced, what was Honda known for in the United States? And I presume still is. The N360 featured a front-wheel drive and an air-cooled 4-stroke, 31 horsepower, 2-cylinder engine, while ultimately derived from Honda's motorcycles. The N360E engine had a 360-degree crankshaft angle, parallel twin. In other words, instead of the cylinders being like this, they were like that, so they could fit it under the hood in the front-wheel drive engine up front. Squeeze it into that little box. This car was small. And the reason why it stands out in my mind, if you drove in Philadelphia with all the muscle cars and the big Cadillacs and the Buick Delmonts and all. And this little puny thing is in traffic. You could run over it and not even know it. Of course, that would be slightly an exaggeration, but you get the idea, don't you? That's why I always smile when I think of the first Honda passenger car in the United States. It was a dressed up motorcycle. It was a dressed up motorcycle. Do you think they were desperate to get into the U.S. market? Now, that's not necessarily the way they are. First, I'm going to try it. First Honda dealership in Philadelphia, PA. Now, I use the word first, and they obviously, the AI here is brain dead. It's totally brain dead. But I said we were out on, I can remember seeing them on the main line. That's the northwestern perimeter of Philadelphia. And I'm going to guess it might have been Martin Mainline Honda in Ardmore. Are you going to go there or not? What's the matter with you guys? I'm not promoting anything. So, about us, contact us. I want to see where it is on the map. Their website doesn't seem to be working. There's garbage over here. Now, hang on. I love to stray around like that. Who owns the first Honda dealership in Philadelphia? Did I have to rephrase it? There are multiple auto groups that own Honda dealerships. See, they don't answer it. Started by Vincent Piazza Sr. in the 1960s, this group owns. Okay, so that was the first one. About Piazza Auto Group, somehow that strikes a bell. Let's see where they're located. They have Acura, Honda, Hyundai. See, this is not going to help me. I want the... Is the AI any good, or is it junk? Is it junk or is it AI? So, started by Vincent Piazza in the 1960s, but they go on to advertise who they are with all the other dealerships. So the brain-dead AI doesn't answer the key point. Oh, excuse me, Google, I'm sorry. Sloan Automotive Group, founded in 1970. That's way too late. And if I go here, and I go home, and you can look in their inventory, but then I say about, and then I say Honda locations, Langhorne, Essington Avenue, Philadelphia, but this is today. And they're in Limerick. And all of these are outside of the city and not where we're interested in. So now why can't the AI brain dead Google stuff answer the question? We'll finish with that. And it's the difference between me, and I can visualize the building, and I know it was somewhere on the main line or close to it. If that information is not currently online to be first scraped by the web crawler and then periodically reconfirmed by the web crawlers, by Google and Bing and all that, then that memory goes away, is deleted. And the answer is there's nothing online that says where the first Honda dealer was in the Philadelphia area that I used to drive by regularly going to my karate class. And that's why AI will have to hallucinate and make up shit and follow templates like the AI search does. Oh, I'm off the topic. They should just come out and say, we don't know. Instead, they deceive you by giving you a substitute bullshit. Substitute bullshit. Because what are they after? There might be you click on something that will earn them a penny or two as an ad. Motorcycle engines. We were wondering how many of them were going to get run over before they woke up and built a real car. Do you think there were any safety complaints about that? Steve A. before you, just reminiscing, St. C. with 73.